I'm back in my own manor, London's East End. For much of its history, it was the centre of the capital's criminal underworld. It's my home turf, but will it be my toughest job yet? This is not just a birthplace of the chirpy Cockney and jellied ills. As well as being my manor, it was the home to a certain Victor Dark, one of the East End's most feared armed robbers. Had it been a life of glamour, or would I find that his crimes have haunted his entire life? He believed in hitting them hard and hitting them fast, and he's got a rap sheet as long as my arm to prove it. From 1974 to 1988, he carried out hundreds of raids on security vans, banks, post offices, and even a packed nightclub. He wasn't the kind to plan big jobs like the Great Train Robbery, and he never scooped as much as the legendary Brinks Mat job. He was all about the smash and grab, organised chaos more than organised crime. But it led him to spend 21 years in the slammer.
We just pull up here with a car, say three of us would get out, it'd be a geezer driver.
Yep.
Then all of a sudden, we just walk straight across there, sledgehammer, the guns, walk straight into there when it's the most busiest time, take down the screens, get behind the screens. We used to have big bags at the time, Dan, like we used to come across, they show big, they're like post office bags, great big bags. And when we got behind the tills, my mate would be the littlest one. He'd either get the door open and just chucking all the money in the bags.
Straight in, yeah.
Yeah, that's how we used to do it. So we didn't really give a shit about anyone.
Yeah.
We was in there for 5 minutes, just clearing out all the money. Then we'd just come straight out of here, get back in the cars and drive off.
In and out 5 minutes.
Yeah, that's it, that was it. If it was big crowds, we'd use a double-barrel shotgun, which is like sort of snoring off, which is like looks the part. Or if it was like quick robberies like security vans, it'd be handguns. With shotguns, there was more frightening, really. So the bigger the crowds, like a big sorting office, it would be like a sawing-off shotgun. To get through the screens, we'd use hammers, big sledgehammers. Obviously, the guns I fired off was over people's heads, you know, so it wasn't at the people. I'd done martial arts for a long time. It's like when they kick, ah! You go, ugh! It's just like bang, you go, ugh! So it's just to make them jump, really. Not like obviously, once you fire a gun into someone, once again, you're going to kill them, aren't you?
Sometimes it only takes one night, one misjudgment, and you're facing a 15-year sentence.
The news from ITN.
In the early hours of this morning, he and his accomplice, both armed with handguns, raided a nightclub in Ilford and shot the owner, who's now in hospital after having surgery.
I got shot in the hand, I got shot in the groin, and I got shot through the arm.
The Penthouse nightclub, Ilford, September 1988. It's 3 a.m. Vic's brought an accomplice with him to help on the job.
I was bored. That's how it all starts, I'm bored. You know what I mean? I'm a bit trigger happy, a bit bored, taking on. It didn't really matter what I'd done. I could do security vans, banks, sorting offices, didn't really matter to me. Up and down, it could be anything. Anything where there was money, it'd be there, I'll go and do it. That's what it was about.
He's bored, and there's 30 grand in this club. Vic and his accomplice get let in the back door by someone on the inside. They hide in a back room, waiting for a signal to move.
You sort of stand there, all getting ready, got the stuff on. So put the mask on, you're just waiting. All of a sudden, then it happens, and you go, you hear. That means give him 10 minutes to get out of the gaff, then I'm coming out.
He gives his accomplice what he thinks is a simple job.
All he's got to do is get the money and rip the phones out. That's all he's got to do.
Yeah.
Anyway, it goes bang. What I've got to do now, the first thing I'll do, I've got to get everyone under control, meaning I've got to wrap them all, or get them all together, wrap them up, have the money slip off. That's what was supposed to happen. Nice and easy. Well, you know, what goes on next is unbelievable.
But his accomplice doesn't get the phones off, and the old Bill are called. They surround the place. There's over 100 punters still in the club. Vic's got them lying on the floor, but the place is panicked.
Everyone's running everywhere. You imagine now, you've got 120 people running fucking everywhere, right? So I've got them all down in here.
It's at this point in the story where we see Vic turn. He takes the owner of the club and makes him kneel in the centre of the dance floor holding a gun to his head.
The paramount thought that I had is just how helpless I was. If they want to kill you, they want to kill you. I grabbed what might or might not have been the gun, and of course it was a gun, and it went off actually in my hand. I was holding the barrel, and when it came down, I got shot in the stomach as well. You don't feel anything when you get shot.
In the scuffle, the bullet passes through the club owner into the shoulder of Vic's accomplice.
My mate gets shot, the bullet goes through his arm, through here, out of his back, right? He's like blood spurting everywhere. It's like an heartbeat. It's going.
There were 2 injured men, but Vic was only concerned about his accomplice, not the club manager.
I lost a lot of blood and apparently caused a blood shortage in Essex and very nearly died.
David's condition was critical. I can't imagine what it must be like to be shot 3 times. Vic wasn't interested though. He still had a long night ahead.
I've got 2 options. Take my clothes off, put my natural clothes back on, walk out, no, I'll get away. Or do I have to carry this, my mate, and get him away?
So Vic takes his accomplice and carries him out, leaving behind 100 stunned clubbers, the wounded owner, and all the cash. It's been a total disaster, but it's not over yet.
As I'm getting here, Dan, right, I'm carrying my mate now, got him like this, like that. So I've got this thing like, as I'm carrying like that, as I go like that, a police car goes bang, just pulls in front of me. I haven't got to the car. I can't get to the car. Police car there, police car there. I told the copper, I said, get out of the car. I didn't want the copper, I wanted the car to put my mate in the car, I'd been critically injured, like, you know. So I just got my mate in the car. Then I looked, so I thought, oh, fuck it. I got the copper, he got back, we've got to put the copper back in the car. Then we're off.
Vic's invited me to a barbecue. Now, he's told me these are the real Essex boys, yeah? So, hanging out with hooligans is one thing, but these guys are serious. I don't want to end up in a country lane, you know what I mean? See what these boys have got to say.
Unlike Vic, most of this lot haven't been inside.
Pleasure to meet you, old son. Pleasure to meet you.
Yeah.
Hello, mate.
Hello, mate. I'm a friend of Vic's, mate.
How you doing?
How you doing, son, yeah?
Pleasure to meet you. Good as gold. Thank you. Thank you.
I am as well, mate.
Good man. Good to meet you, mate. Pleasure. All right, mate? How are you? You all right?
This is Gavin. He was inside for manslaughter at Maidstone Prison.
Yeah, no, good as gold, mate.
Did you want a beer?
Good. I've got a beer there, sunshine. Thank you very much. No, good as gold. I know it's a bit mad walking in with my camera on me.
No, don't be silly. We're bothered about all that. We've got cameras on us fucking 24 hours a day.
Yeah, I know. He's telling me about that.
Been one of my best mates. Been one of my mates like since we was kids. And one of the most staunchest, nicest fellas in the world you're ever going to meet. I actually met him in Maidstone Prison when he was serving 7 years for manslaughter.
Okay.
And like I say, and then we come out and we become good friends. And ever since, he's been one of my best mates in the world.
And he's always been there for me.
Yeah.
And he's been a father figure, but he's always been an older brother, best friend. He always has been, and he's never wanted nothing off me.
No.
Always give me. True.
Yeah, it's good. I love him, mate.
I love you as well.
Brilliant, mate. He's one of the top
Have we
guys.
ever took? I couldn't buy him a drink.
It's like being in an episode of The Sopranos. They all seem to love Vic, but then they've never been at the wrong end of him or his gun.
Well, he's just one in a million, mate. Yeah.
This is Glenn. He runs his own steel supply business.
Funny, really, since been seen out with him, everyone pays me on time. It's quite handy, really, yeah. All of a sudden, all these knockers don't pay me. It's great. So I just made a phone call and the checks are in the post. But no, it's good, really, because when I first met Vic, the business was probably doing, I don't know, 7-8 million a year turnover. It's up to about 20 million now. And you don't do that sort of turnout without people like his name behind you.
Yeah.
So although I ain't got no involvement in the business, where we've grown close, if anyone ever tries to like knock me, he's just mention his name is enough. He don't even have to get on the phone.
So while they all love him, there ain't no doubt about his stature. Time for me to make me exit.
What's up, babe?
So Vic had no choice. It was his poverty that had led him to a life of crime. So his brother must be a criminal as well then. But it turns out nothing could be further from the truth. Vic's younger brother Tony is a multi-millionaire. He had the same upbringing, but made different choices, making his fortune out of packaging, not robbery.
You was chasing money at an early age, I think. And I think that was your route. You know, you was working all weekends, weren't you, on the railways, grafting your nuts off, earning 50, 60 quid a weekend. And every weekend you're just doing the same thing. I think enough was enough, and you said, "This is it. I want to earn easy money."
I'm glad really that my brother took the route he did because, like I say, it's made the family proud.
But we have made us, as I said.
Like I say, we all took different routes, and he has made us. He's a brilliant businessman, and he's put the family on the map, really.
What I wanted to know was why Vic hadn't made the same decisions as his younger brother.
Why do you think you took a different path to your brother then?
Some brothers, you can't say all brothers are the same.
No.
They're totally different. You've got two different brothers, and he, like you said, he's always been good. He's been not one of them natural people who's like, I'll cheat him at cards and still win. He's just one of them people,
Oh,
whatever I did, whatever he's done, he's turned to gold.
When you look back over the robberies you've done, I mean, how do you feel? You know, how do you feel about that? I mean,
I feel a bit guilty for all the people I've caused mayhem to, really.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Yeah, I feel, I'd like to apologise while I'm on the programme, all the upset I caused a lot of people, but I've done my time, and I'm not proud of it.
I'd met a man who'd run around London with a shotgun and a sledgehammer, stacking his winnings in his wardrobe and living it up. But a man who'd lost 21 years shut up in jail, who was still haunted by the shadows of his past and felt people were still out to get him. I'd found a man whose crimes hadn't paid.
I dreamed of being a family man over the last 21 years locked up, so I got what I want, and believe it or not, that's what keeps me on the straight and narrow, my family. I've got too much to lose now. The game's over. I've retired.
I'm in Liverpool to meet Stephen French, a notorious gangster from Liverpool who specialised in the perfect crime, robbing drug dealers, known in the underworld as taxation. In the 80s, these streets used to belong to Stephen French. Now, it's one of the most deprived ghettos in the UK, and Stephen is still widely recognised by the locals. In November 2007, he was visiting a friend when he was targeted by a hit squad and chased into the park.
And I took off like Kano, got into the park, right? And I see them close to the trees, I'm there, but then they've come. This is how I know that they were fucking serious individuals, Dan. They turned the lights on into the park, and then one of them's got out, and he's obviously got a handgun. The other one, but he's got a long coat on, right? And I've seen him flick his coat, so I know he's got a shotty, yeah? I'm thinking, fuck me, I've got none. And there's a pond over there.
Yeah.
So I've got into the pond. The water's up to there, so you can't see me legs. I've got a 3/4 length coat on, I put it over me, and I'm lying by the rocks. See, I'm right in front of you, but you can't see me. Fucking wicked. Subterfuge and misdirection, right? Two of my oldest friends. And I'm looking through the buttonhole on my coat, and I could see them, right? And I had apprehension, but not fear. And it's a Japanese thing. I've got my phone. I'm hiding the light on my phone, and I'm saying to the but audio up, just sound your fucking siren. Just sound your siren.
Yeah.
That'll be enough.
That's enough, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah. And then I've come out to the pond. I'm wet up to there. Right? And then they've gone, on the fucking floor now, on the floor now. I said, I'm getting on the floor for nobody. My name's Stephen French. I phoned you, I'm not armed, and I'm not getting on the floor. On the floor. I said, I'm not getting down. I'm not getting on the fucking floor. Come and say it to me, I'm not getting on the floor. I survived that attempt. I've survived over 6 or 7 attempts on my life, but they was there to fucking whack me proper.
Yeah.
I had no idea that taking a stroll in the park with Stephen would be so dangerous. French wanted to show me where the front line of the riots were on Upper Parliament Street, but he was feeling uneasy about all the attention we were getting.
The camera draws attention.
Yeah.
I don't want to get, user professionals, don't want to get you drawn into my shit. So we'll be quick, in and out.
Yeah.
Okay.
Good boy.
All right.
Good man. Okay.
After only a few minutes, French pulls the plug. He feels that he's putting himself and me in unnecessary danger. Stephen had agreed to give me a unique insight into his past as an underworld taxman. Now I was on my way to meet him in a secret location in the suburbs. I didn't know it yet, but I was only minutes away from one of the maddest experiences of my life.
I've asked Danny Dyer to meet me here this afternoon, right, with a view to showing him a taxation scenario. These are the things that are actually going on today. They're quite horrific and scary, but this is the insight that I want the viewer to have, and those of the squeamish should look away.
This is the first time a real-life taxation scenario has ever been shown on TV. Stephen was taking a big risk by opening up this side to me, but I got the feeling he was on his own journey to atone for some of the things that happened in the past.
This guy is known as the Taxman. His nickname was the Devil, and there was a reason for that, and the fact that, he used to rob drug dealers, and he used to, torture them. I don't know what he used to do to them, but, I need to get a sense of that. Obviously not too much, you know what I mean?
It's time to get into character. It's time for the switch to be flipped. I don't want to scare the guy. I don't want to glamorize the taxation, but I want to show the nitty-gritty, nuts and bolts of what actually used to take place.
Here we go. Bit of taxation. Right, let's have it. So the door's already open, so it's like, okay, sweet, let's go in. Straight away,
well,
yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
Even if you want to start struggling, right? If I put it on you now, Dan, you're gone.
Yeah.
I'm only holding you,
Yeah.
right? But it would be,
Yeah. Straight
lifted.
away.
You're going to be awake for about 3 seconds. You lift it, you put down in a chair, right? And then the individual, the people that had him would secure him in the chair. Yeah? Hands and feet to secure him in the chair, yeah? Keep him quiet, but they leave his eyes open. I've had some geezers, and they started to mouth off. Blah, 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 blah. Who do you think you are? Blah, 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 blah. And I just jammed their eye. You get me? Just jammed their eye. And just, you know, give them some sharp pain, right? And say to them, well, you know, shut up, because next time your eye will come out. Next time I'll pop your eye out. If you want to come out to the sunscape, behave yourself, be respectful. The individual that now had you would be dressed in head to toe in black. They'd have a black balaclava and black gloves on, right? And you wouldn't be able to see who they were. They'd have a really large kitchen knife, yeah? And the first thing to do would walk over to you and they'd show you the knife and put the knife down, yeah? And then the rhetoric possibly would go something like this. I fucking hate drug dealers. I fucking hate people that sell drugs to children and they ruin communities, but I fucking love money. I'm here to relieve you of your cash. If you don't give me your cash, really horrible, nasty things are going to happen to you. But it's all a matter for you. I don't want to have to harm you. I don't want to have to hurt you. But you're poisoning communities. You're killing people. And you're getting fat and rich off it, and that disgusts me. You disgust me. So it's a matter for you. I've got a phone here. Fresh, clean phone, never been used. You're gonna call your stash minder, whether it's your fucking granny, your ma, your bird, your best pal, and you're gonna make it good. And you're gonna tell them, in about an hour, someone's coming to pick up the money. You're gonna have to act like you've never fucking acted before. And if you use any codes, like I know you're referred to as Danny, if you say something like it's Daniel on the phone, I know you're using a code. Don't fucking try any of that shit, because I've been here before. I'm a professional. This is what I do. And this is how the individual will be made to feel. You'll be overwhelmed psychologically. And if you don't do that, this is what's going to happen to you.
Stevens told us not to broadcast what he's whispering in my ear. It's too upsetting. But I can tell you, it's not something I'll forget.
It's up to you. Something along those lines, Dan, yeah?
Well, I'd pull up the dough immediately. I'd pull up the dough, man. I'd just think...
To my shame, and to my embarrassment, it's stripping them of the dignity. I've had a 17-stone fucking bodybuilder come in and shit his kecks. You get me? Proper mess his trousers. Piss himself because they don't know what's going to happen. And this is why taxation is such a nasty, evil activity. I regret it 100%. And one of the reasons why I'm speaking about it now, I'm being quite graphic about it, is to bring it to the wider public of what it's all about.
Yeah, I've just got a sense of what that could be like, and I just think that...
you know, if it's done correctly, nobody gets hurt physically. But I actually believe, in retrospect, the emotional and mental damage that it can cause to an individual leaves me ashamed.
I mean, it's hard to feel sorry for a smack dealer, do you know what I mean? But you would think, you know, that is the worst case scenario. I don't see how you come back from that. I can't really understand how anyone wouldn't pull up the dough or wouldn't do as they're told, you know what I mean? That's freaked me out a little bit. That's done me. I feel a bit sick. I feel like I'm gonna chuck my breakfast up.
Stephen's enemies have gone to great lengths to assassinate his character, even tagging the walls with graffiti, accusing him of being a police informer.
Being called the Grass is like someone calling you a paedophile. And then once that label's put on you, you're fair game to be shot.
This home footage shows just what he thinks of the person responsible.
A little skulking little bitch that runs around in the evening painting shit on the wall about a man that he's so jealous of, so envious of. The greenness is oozing out of you.
The bitterness against Stephen and his family runs deep with the new generation in Toxteth. I wanted to track down who these kids were that now control the streets and find out for myself what they think of Stephen. A gang of them agreed to speak, provided their identities were hidden.
I heard he come here the week right there where we're standing now, and he got shot at now, so you tell me if he come through here again, I don't know what would happen. He might have been feared back in the day, but obviously it's 2008 and things have changed and he's not feared no more. Stephen French is a grass. He's a pussy.
These kids were hiding behind their masks, but Stephen still has to take their threat seriously. Today, Stephen has been invited to speak to a delegation of high-profile criminologists and academics to help spread his anti-gun message. In his friend's memory, he plans to open the Andrew John Memorial Skills Centre to prevent teenagers from following in his footsteps.
Will it be a happy ending or one to regret? Success, prison or death, I need to watch out.
It's a humbling and a liberating experience to be invited to speak here today.
He hopes the speech will help raise funding for the Skills Centre.
I have to bear responsibility and culpability in the rise of the phenomenon known as gun crime. I'm 6'3", 225 pounds of prime black male. And how could a 10-stone drug dealer protect himself from a guy like me, former British, European and world kickboxing champion? How he did it is he armed himself. 1994, my daughter was born and I had an epiphany. I knew I had to turn my life around. My options were success, death or jail. Me personally, I want to show them the way to success. I want to show them the road to success. Success as a bricklayer, success as a plumber, success as a carpenter. All areas of success that don't lead to jail or death and don't lead to a life of drugs or pistolero. This is done to shock and horrify, yeah? This is a t-shirt that several young men had made that have made an attempt on my life because I'm standing up to be counted and giving an anti-gun message. R.I.P. Stephen French. Such is my determination, I've changed R.I.P. to really increase the peace. Thank you very much for the time and effort.
In today's gang wars, the rules of engagement have changed radically since Stephen's day. I've learnt that teenage gangs fear no one, and they'll shoot you to prove it. Stephen is nearly 50 years old, but he's lost none of his will to fight. He's going to the ultimate lengths to battle gun crime by putting his own life on the line. I'm going to spend a few days on the streets of Brixton to see if all the Daily Mail headlines are true. And I'm moving in with a former gangster with a rap sheet that reads like something from an Eminem lyric. Mugger, bank robber, crack dealer, you name it, he's done it.
Until just a few years ago, he was right in the thick of it. I mean, he was part of one of Brixton's most feared gangs.
I'm not meeting just another hoodie. Elijah Kerr was a top boy of the PDC, the Pill Dem crew.
PDC was known for like robbing, probably drug dealing, and a few other things. It was kind of feared.
Some people feared us, some people loved us, some people hated us. It was just a crazy feeling.
Elijah was a boy of 12 when his career of violent crime began.
I might like went to a shop, robbed someone, kicked him and hit him in his head. That would be normal to me. If you get him away,
then you're gonna get kicking or something, because if I get caught, I'm going to prison. So don't get in my way.
Just a mile or so from where he lives, flowers and tributes lie for the most recent young victim of a fatal stabbing. Reading the messages makes me think just how pointless all these deaths are. It's not long before Elijah arrives, and he's not alone.
A couple of pals wrapped round him, didn't expect that, thought he would have been on his jack. And he said that, ex-gang leader, what'd you expect? How you doing, bruv?
Nice to meet you, bruv.
Pleasure, man, thanks for coming to see me.
He introduces me to Maddox and Michael, both former members of the PDC.
Oh, this is a bit strong, it's first meeting with you.
Yeah, boy. Normal, isn't it? You see that everywhere, like you see that on lampposts, on street corners, that's just normal now. Like, I think before people would have been shocking before, but now it's just like, people probably walk past this every day and it's nothing.
A 16-year-old was stabbed to death at this spot just 1 week before I made this film.
That could have been me there. That could be, any of us say, that could have been me right there. I'm saying, those flowers could be for me. We've been in fights like that where that could have been, I could have got stabbed like that, or something could happen, I could have got shot in the head or something. Like, people getting stabbed and shot, but it wasn't as highlighted as it is now. Like, I remember someone getting shot back in the days and it wasn't the news. Only we knew about it, like, it was just like a normal thing, like, he got shot, all right?
Okay.
Before I was gonna die around the 24, 25 years old, I thought I was gonna die around that age, so I was like, I'm gonna go to prison, probably come out, have like 4 more years to live. That was my attitude.
It's a mad mentality to have
that was my
done,
attitude.
to accept death.
That was my attitude. And I decided to say, you know what? Fuck the system, fuck everyone. I don't care about no one. Fuck it.
I've not even been with him for an hour, and he and his 2 former gang members are stopped by the police.
So I've obviously just met up with Elijah. I've not been with him for more than, well, not even half hour yet. I'm following him around, and he's been tagged. Got a couple of chaps around him. The old Bill have pulled him already. Oh, shit. Well, another old Bill motor's turned up. I don't know what's going on here. It's a nightmare.
It makes me think, am I staying under the same roof as a former gangster, or an active one?
I don't know what's going on. I'm hoping it's all going to be sweet. I hope he ain't got about fucking 20 guns in his motors. We're fucked. Fucking hell.
There are 3 police cars and 5 officers. I think this might be serious.
Because this car's being driven illegally. This gentleman hasn't got a driving licence, and that means he hasn't got a lot of insurance.
They've always got something to say all the time.
It's a tense situation. The banter isn't friendly.
Just because they know us, they say this what happens all the time. I'm saying.
I was going to say, I've been with you 20 minutes.
Exactly,
it's on you already.
There you go.
Got more old Bill and all. Fucking hell, bang on us.
That's why I don't. You guys need anything out of this car?
All the cars that we own, they're high risk, so they're known for like drugs, guns and all that. So obviously we get stopped all the time.
They've not found any drugs or guns, but Maddox, who was driving, doesn't have a valid license or insurance. But it feels like there's more to this than meets the eye. It's more about who they are than just a traffic violation. The old Bill are obviously keeping a close eye on anyone with PDC connections. As we sat in a restaurant eating dinner, it felt like things had calmed down. I couldn't have been more wrong. After all, it was Friday night in Brixton. While we were eating, Elijah received a phone call.
Hello.
There'd been another stabbing on the Angeltown estate, very close to where he lives. I decided to go to the scene of the crime with Elijah.
The second left here, not this one, the second one.
We arrived to find the police investigating a stabbing that has happened just a couple of 100 yards from Elijah's front door.
Elijah's gaff's just over there. And somebody right here, this little manor, has been stabbed up. I can see actually the blood over there. There's some blood. This is obviously the guy's trainer. Oh, it's fucking just a horrible feeling. All the old Bill were putting on putting our forensic suits on now, look, you know what I mean? Just a normal Friday night, I suppose, in Brixton. This ain't nothing new to nobody that lives around here.
It all feels so extreme. Stabbing someone over an argument, to take someone's life, and then have 10 or 15 of your own taken away doing a prison sentence. What makes someone do that? Who are these people?
It hits home how real it is, you know what I mean? It is such a, you know, for them it's just walk off a duck's back, but I mean, this is the real deal, man. There's no bollocks here.
I would have got more reputation for making more money, but now I think you get more bigger reputation is the more violent you are. So the more stabbings or probably the more shootings you are, the more you're the big man.
We're off to meet some lads that Elijah knows from another estate in nearby Stockwell.
Okay.
Go speak to some of the local lads around there.
Look, a few of the young boys, yeah.
I'm saying, who's left into this estate coming up here?
I want to ask those who live on these streets why violence and stabbings are becoming an everyday thing. It's hard to believe it's just about status and making a name for yourself.
Do you think it's turning into now just this whole idea of everyone running around stabbing each other and just it's over nothing, isn't it?
Well, yeah, really and truly, yeah, but me personally, caught up in it. But it's mostly like the youngers, like the little ones, like I think they have something to prove, like they
What,
feel
as young as what, like
14, 15, like they might think they have something to prove so they can roll with the older ones, but that's probably about it, like they probably just take it out of hand, innit, like thinking, well, they get respect from the older ones.
So you boys don't feel the pressure that you got to run around with knives on you?
Not even, tell the truth.
It's just a rare thing then, Elijah, ain't being funny.
Yeah, what you find, yeah, a lot of the guys now, they're kind of seeing that, you know what, it's not even worth it, because at the end of the day, what everyone's getting involved in and fighting over and beefing over, it's just something stupid. That's not everyone's like that, I'm saying. So these are the sensible ones out of a lot of lunatics.
And if they want to get involved, they get involved, innit?
Yeah.
Some people don't want to get involved, then they don't get involved. So
yeah,
that's how it is, really.
Yeah.
It's up to them at the end of the day, the way I see it.
The stakes have been raised to a whole new level, and it's really, really frightening. Where once it was fists and fighting, now it seems to be knives and death. After breakfast, we head back to the scene of the stabbing. I want to see the aftermath of the incident.
That's the blood
Yeah, got it. It's a fucking pool of blood, that, isn't it?
This was an incident the police had described as minor.
It's not a nosebleed, is it? Let's be honest. I mean, how can that be minor?
If you're not
try telling the geezer's mother that's minor.
It's minor, yeah.
You know what I mean?
By a strange coincidence, Elijah was going to bring me here anyway. This is the same part of the estate where he reached the peak of his criminal activity. Crack dealing. Well, he wasn't going to be a plumber, was he? After his release from prison for robbery at 17, he tried to go legit as a music events organiser, but it didn't work out.
People say to me, we've got bank accounts. Like, what? Bank account for what? Like, what do you mean bank account? I don't
You didn't even have a bank account?
No, like, my money goes in my box. Like, my money goes in my room, and I don't need bank account. So I didn't know about all this kind of stuff. So I said, you know what, this ain't for me. I'm going back to I need to do something else. And I said, you know what, drug game.
Crime was what he knew, and the drug game proved to be highly lucrative.
I was making like £500 a day to like £2-3 grand a day. Each individual was making, I'm saying.
Elijah and the PDC transformed the whole derelict block on the estate into a crack dealing business.
One of the guys I sold drugs to, he went off, he was with a girl, and he came back and said to me like, yeah, we was smoking all night, she died, she's dead. I was like, fuck, you telling me that for? I was like, fuck. I was like, fuck. I said, what are you gonna buy? You wanna buy some more drugs?
And I see for myself something else that has given him a focus for change. He's accepted Islam and prays at least 5 times a day. The more time I've been with him, listened to him, and got to know him, the more I actually believe he's making a conscious effort to change and move further and further away from the kind of person he was.
I've done lots of bad stuff in the past, so obviously I still have dreams about all that stuff. But I still see like people's face pop up, and I'm thinking, who the hell is that? But obviously that's like your subconscious, like that's things from your subconscious that you saw at the time, but because at the time you didn't understand what you was doing or you just didn't care, it wasn't affecting you. But now my mind's changed, like those things pop back up. I'm like, fuck, you know, like when I remember certain things, I think, fuck, you know, what was I doing? How I was living a couple of years ago, I should have been dead, innit? So every day I pray, I'm thankful for that I'm still here, and I've kind of changed my whole ways, and the record label's here now, and all this stuff's going on for me now. So I say, you know what, I'm thankful for it. It's more from a discipline as well for yourself. Saying so you're kind of like ready for the day and you're focused. Some people might smoke a spliff and say, this makes me focus in the morning. Some people might
Probably my method.
Yeah. Say, some people might have a snort like, oh, I'm fresh in the morning.
Yeah, that's me. Yeah, that's probably me. Shit.
My time in Brixton with Elijah has come to an end. I've realised something positive has come out of his past. People listen to him because he's seen it, he's done it, and got quite a few t-shirts.
I've learned that, you know, these kids need people like you around them because you've done it. You've done the bird for it. You made a point, you don't lecture them. Can't lecture them.
You can't lecture them, no way.
Listen to you and you channel it in the right way.
You can still make more money in the streets in one day than you can probably make in doing anything legal. But at the same time, that's a short journey. I'm saying that's most of the time you end up dead or in prison. I can see a bigger dream right now, so it's me working hard and coming out of it is worth it. I'm saying so I can see that what we're working towards is going to be much bigger than anything that can ever possibly happen in the streets.
I'm going to be living with Bernard O'Mahony, a man whose life has revolved around crime and violence.
I was done for robbery, lots and lots of grievous bodily harms.
His CV reads like a character from a carnage-ridden road movie. Soldier in Northern Ireland, football hooligan in London, gun-toting doorman in Johannesburg.
Another decade of fucking madness, really, with gangs, stabbings, shootings.
But overshadowing all of this is his association and acrimonious split from the infamous gangsters known as the Essex Boys.
That's when my phone started ringing, you know. We're gonna fucking shoot you, we're gonna fucking do you.
The Essex grapevine still buzzes with rumour and hearsay about them. And as I approach this journey, thoughts cloud my mind. I've been hearing things. People have told me that Bernard isn't all that he claims to be.
And the weird thing for me is, for the first time, I've been getting phone calls about this guy. I'm being told things, he's a grass, he's a fake, he's living on the back of this, you know, this idea of the Essex Boys and, you know, bad reviews really. So, you know, it's not healthy for me really to be going to meet this guy with this stuff going on in my mind. So I've got to take him at face value. I've got to give the guy a shot, but, you know, I'm getting sort of negative thoughts before I've even met him, and that's a weird, strange feeling, you know. I don't like going to work this way.
But then he shows me something that turns my stomach.
This is such a weird thing.
Bernard was once a pen pal of the Yorkshire Ripper, Peter Sutcliffe.
The murder victim was identified tonight as 20-year-old Jacqueline Hill, a student who had been living in the Headingley area of the city.
Sutcliffe murdered 13 women between 1975 to 1980. Although deemed sane at his trial, he was later sent to Broadmoor Psychiatric Hospital. It's one of the most surreal moments I've ever experienced. Here I am leafing through letter after letter written by one of Britain's most notorious serial killers.
And just look, I mean, it's Peter Sutcliffe's handwriting. Strange to just think that that's a man that has killed many people, you know, for many years. I have vastly changed from my attitude of 10 or 11 years ago. I was tragically misguided in those days about certain matters. I know that only too well. Oh, it's terrible. I feel ill reading it. Lots of love and fondest thoughts always, Peter.
Bernard thought his letters would result in selling a story to the papers, but nothing came of it. He realised, however, that by this method, He could get detailed information from prisoners. He began writing to Richard Blenky, who was awaiting trial for the murder of a 7-year-old child and who Bernard believed was guilty.
Over a period of time, he wrote and told me in detail what had happened to this boy. And a week before the trial, I wrote to him. I said, look, I fucking know you lied. You did it, didn't you? And he wrote back, he went, yeah, I've done it. And I got in touch with the police, give him the letter. And they confronted him with the letter on the morning of the trial. And he's there to plead not guilty. And it's something that sticks with me. The boy's father said it was the best feeling in my life, he said, because I knew he's guilty. The police know he's guilty. To hear him stand there and say, yeah, I did it, he said it was like fucking... Yeah. And he can't appeal, can he?
No, of course not.
So it's a great... I do get a lot of pleasure out of it, yeah. It's a fucking great feeling.
For me, before I've met you for the first time and anyone I've met, I'm getting bad vibes off people.
Yeah.
Telling me this, that and the other about you. Now, I've got to take people on face value at the end of the day.
Yeah, but if I just stop you there, Danny, this is the crux of the problem. I don't give a fuck for no man or what he thinks of me. I'm my own man. But there are people who say, oh, he's this, he's that, and that. But I'm doing that book Faces, and I've got every top villain in the country has agreed to do it. So the people who tend to sit and talk shit about me are really the people who don't fucking matter, do you know what I mean?
Exactly.
That's the way I look at it, you know what I mean? When it comes to caring and sleepless nights, there is no one. There is no one.
Life's too fucking short, Bernard. Don't worry about that. Life is too short, mate.
Bernard's involvement in crime has resulted in him being threatened on several occasions. One example is this incident caught on CCTV. It shows Bernard being attacked with a pepper spray outside a nightclub. His response proves that he's not someone to be trifled with.
Do you ever worry about him, Bernard? Do you ever worry just because of
people who
the books he's wrote and the people he's upset? Which Bernard, he takes it with a pinch of salt. But yourself, I mean, that's your man, isn't it? So
that phone call, I was a bit concerned of. But then again, and I'll think, well, he knows how to handle them sort of people. So in a sense, not really, because I know he can talk to them in the way they would expect him to. So
and you would know if he was worried.
You would get a feeling in any way, wouldn't you? Do you know what I mean? On something, and then I would say like, oh.
But no one's ever going to hurt you. Going to ring you up and warn you.
No.
Nah.
When they ring you up, I just
silly
go,
talk,
another fool who's had too much coke.
And I think as well, if it was going to happen, and they're going to say it was going to happen, it would have already happened in any way, wouldn't it?
Speaking to Bernard about this, I realise we have something in common. He's been called this, that and the other and judged by people who don't know him. It's something that I get from doing these shows.
Well, it's this thing that I have to deal with is this tough guy image, right? A hard man, and this is what the press label you as, right? It's always in my mind that someone's going to have a pop at me, thinking that, look, I'm not a mug or nothing like that. I'm from Canning Town, but I've always swerved that life, And so I always read things about me, and it's Danny Dyer in brackets, tough guy actor, which is complete bollocks. And it frustrates me. I'm a sensitive soul. And I suppose making these shows don't help me at all. But the reason I do make these shows is to show a different side to me. Yeah. And I'm not giving it the big one. I mean, when I met people like Paddy, I felt like a little girl around him. And I wasn't afraid to say that, It's important that I try and get that across, So
it doesn't matter what Mr. X thinks of me or this gang think of me. I don't go to bed worrying about him, do you know what I mean?
I mean, was you involved with the drug side of it? Was you... just on the door. I mean, how deep was you?
In 1986, I was released from prison and new beginning, new start. Jumped on a train and headed to Essex.
Once again, Bernard's wanderlust brought him back into contact with violence when he became a bouncer at Raquel's nightclub in Basildon.
At the time, it was like stilettos and fucking drunks, basically. They're either trying to fuck each other or fight each other.
Yeah.
But everything was about to change. Something arrived that revolutionised clubbing. And it wasn't headscarves.
What it done is it changed clubbers. It changed, what they was doing when they was in a club.
And the monsters turned into mice overnight, do you know what I mean?
They did,
hugging each other and loving each other.
And the mice needed feeding. Now Bernard didn't have to worry about tear-ups and chucking people out. It was all about making money from ecstasy. He joined forces with Tony Tucker and and they controlled the drug trade inside Raquel's.
I said, you know, you can have your bit on the side of the gear, and I'll run the door, and we'll all be happy. Do you know what I mean? Because it was a big club, it attracted like promoters, rave promoters, because they thought, oh, it's a peaceful club. Tucker runs it, everything will be sweet, all the drugs in it. It worked really well.
Things came to a head when 18-year-old Leah Betts became an unwitting anti-drugs poster girl. After taking an ecstasy tablet, she fell into a coma.
Police warned that they suspected the ecstasy tablet was contaminated with another substance.
The police believed that the type of pill she had taken was being sold in Raquel's. They approached Bernard about getting hold of one for analysis.
I've got this dilemma. Is it a dilemma? Not really. There's a young girl dying. Do I help her, or do I adhere to this bollocks mythical underworld code where you don't talk to the police, you don't grass, you don't do this, you don't... I knew they wouldn't be happy about it, but I said, I'll try and get you one. I said to the police, I'll try and get you one of these pills. Helps the girl, great, you know what I mean?
Bernard couldn't get his hands on one of the pills, but as far as the Essex boys were concerned, he'd spoken to the police, and so he was at grass.
But when Tucker and Tate and the others heard that I'd so openly agreed to assist the police, that's when my phone started ringing, you know. We're going to fucking shoot you, we're going to fucking do you.
But just a few weeks later, Bernard wouldn't have to worry about any threats. Someone went after him, and they didn't miss.
I've got to ask you, Bernard, I mean, for me, you seem to know so much about it. I mean, it's almost as if you're standing there watching it happen. I mean, how do you know that this is how it took place? How do you know? I mean,
well, because
guesswork or what?
No. People talk, don't they? And you know, over the last 15 years, I've got a good idea of what happened. And if I knew who'd done it, I wouldn't tell, because I honestly think whoever did it did the world a favour. You know what I mean?
I came into this thinking that Bernard could be a grass and a fake. I've listened to his story, and I believe that he did what he felt he had to do. He lives by a complex code, which appears contradictory. On the one hand, he has roots in violent criminality, and on the other, he seeks to right injustices. It's not always easy to do the right thing, especially when people are looking to kill you for doing it.